Okay, so I'm ready to start to plan out the layout for my Where I'm From portrait. I have this big black paper. It's really big paper. It's 12 by 18. And this really small portrait is going to go onto it somewhere. So I'm going to consider where that's going to go. And then I'm going to think about how to use this negative space in here. And I also have my poem. My poem's long. My poem's actually 2 sides. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take this poem and I'm going to pare it down to just the parts that I want to tell. So I've already started this work a little bit. I've got one sentence here, or one sort of line from my poem, and I'm just going to work on that for a bit. I'm going to keep this one next to me while I work on that. I like this first line, but I'm going to skip over all of this part and go sort of see how I can combine into the next parts, because I don't want this whole stanza even. So I'm going to see if I can make it flow with just the lines that I want. Trying to get it to flow together. So my history is a futuristic snapshot of what societal women will be. I am from roots and I am from wings. I guess it makes most sense to say from the grounding of a yogi. And here, I don't want any of this, So I'm coming down here. So I have a little bit of this, and then I'm sort of skipping down to here. I really like how it flows. So my history is a futuristic snapshot of what societal women will be. That's because my grandmother was pretty forward thinking. I'm from roots and I'm from wings, from the grounding of a yogi. So that's my mom, and from futuristic car doors that lift straight up. So that was my sort of forward thinking aunt who had a DeLorean. Paired with family cars with falling ceilings. I have been guided by all of the people that it takes to make a world. That's something my mom says all the time. And stolen moments for sunsets over Uncle Tim's Bridge. That's in Wellfleet. My family goes there a lot. So that's going to be what I'm going to do. Just that right there. Just this. Okay. Now, next I'm going to get a white piece of paper and I'm going to plan out where everything's going to go on here. So I'm going to decide on where my photo is going to go. So I think I'm going to you could put your photo right in the middle if you want. I think I'm going to have my photo on the side here. I actually think I'm going to have it kind of come down to the bottom. And I'm just for now putting in a place marker for my body and head. You know, it doesn't really totally matter that it doesn't look like me. It's just a place marker. I'll do that a little darker so you can see it. From there, I'm going to figure out, okay, what images might I sort of depict for this? So my history is a futuristic snapshot of what societal women will be. For snapshot, I like the idea of a camera, maybe even a Polaroid camera. So I'm going to list some images I might use. Images. And I'm from roots and I'm from wings, from the grounding of a yogi. So I might actually do something to do with yoga. Maybe a mat, maybe an actual yogi, meditation or something. And from futuristic car doors that lift straight up. So I'm going to look up a DeLorean with the door up. With door up. I've been guided by all the people that it takes to make a world. I might have a picture of a bunch of people together. Maybe with a world. And stolen moments for sunsets over Uncle Tim's Bridge. So I'm going to have Uncle Tim's Bridge too. So this is kind of my plan. This is how things are going to look on this. This is my poem, the way that I'm going to use it. And these are some things that I want to kind of look up. Google. And you're going to look some of these things up. So I'm going to look up a Polaroid camera. Polaroid camera. And I'm going to find an image of it. Put this to the side. And then I'm going to get another piece of white paper. And on that white paper, I'm going to sketch some of these things. So I'm just going to kind of plan them out a little. Here's a Polaroid camera. Here's the sort of rounded part. Whenever I draw from observation, I'm looking at my object for 80% of the time and looking at my paper for 20%. I'm gonna look up a yogi. This one reminds me of my mom, which is sort of what I'm going for in the way that she would sit and sort of find calmness and breath. So I'm gonna look at that for ideas. I'm gonna simplify it because it's a photo of a person. A DeLorean. I'll put this over to the side. And I'm gonna have run into my yogi here. It's a little too big. So I'm just gonna leave this, but I'm gonna get another piece of paper or just flip it over. I can't fit the top in now, so I'll get another piece of paper. Have it up here. It's okay. So I'm running off the paper here because this is not something that's familiar to me to draw. I'm not planning very well for it, but that's why we practice it ahead of time. So, gather around the world. I'm going to skip that because if I want to add that in, I can, but I'm going to look for Uncle Tim's Bridge now. This picture here, so I'm going to draw that. I'm just going to draw. I've got a bunch of them. And so I planned those out. So then I can come back to this, and I can place my words and my images in. And I am from Wings, from the grounding of a yogi. So the grounding of a yogi, I'm gonna maybe have her overlapping. Actually have a yoga mat. I'm going to bring my DeLorean over here. I'll start with the top because I want to get the door in. I have been guided by all the people that it takes to make a world and stolen moments for sunsets over Uncle Tim's Bridge. So I think down here, I'll bring my Uncle Tim's Bridge. Here's my picture of that. My Uncle Tim's Bridge. I'm going to kind of bring that here. Emphasis words. So I like the word I like the term futuristic snapshot. I like the word women because it's powerful for me in that stance. From the grounding of a yogi. Futuristic car doors that lift straight up, paired with family cars with falling ceilings. Falling ceilings, I'll do that together. Falling ceilings. I have been guided by all the people that it takes to make a world. For me, all the people that it takes to make a world is a huge one, because my mom always said that growing up. And then I'll do Uncle Tim's Bridge too. So those emphasis words, I really want to come back on some more white paper. And I want to plan them out. So futuristic, women, look up some fonts, or fonts. And I can play with some of these fonts now. Okay. Future. Women. I could find another font for, like, and try some different fonts for them, and those will get interjected when I do my final. But then I've got a nice set of sort of references for my final. I've got those reference drawings. I've got some reference text. I have the words I want to emphasize. I have my plan here. And, at this point, I'm in good shape to move on to a final.